Touching base. Hey Mike, please tell me you've run across something in your travels that's even remotely interesting. This Taipei story is slower than I thought, and the boredom's almost killing me. If you come across anything, please let me know. I'd hate to think I wasted a clever conversation on a source that I can't deliver. Scarlet. I'm supposed to give her stuff just because we had a conversation? I would have hated to have wasted a conversation with somebody that isn't going to put out. Jesus Christ. So there's like a choice, right? You're deciding like, I mean, of course it's a choice. I mean like in terms of like, do you want to be someone that's leaking information to Scarlet Lake? Or do you want to keep everything hush-hush? Which admittedly, like, as far as, like, the integrity of the system goes, like, if everyone's coming after me, then, like, if everyone's currently hunting me, then it's not really about, much about loyalty to Alpha Protocol. I did one mission for them, basically, and they're already trying to kill me. But just, like, potentially getting certain information out could be dangerous to me. Like, there's consequences, perhaps. So you can flirt with her or tell her to shut the fuck up and wait for the information to come. Or this. Probably this. I honor my commitments. You ask for a story, I'll get you a story. And I'm not doing this because I'm a Samaritan. It's because the world needs to know what's happening, Mike. But I don't actually have anything to tell her. Bloop. Clearinghouse. What do we got here? Dossier information on Albatross. Dossier information on Sis. On Surkov. G22. If I do intercept Surkov, then I'll lose access to this probably. I ran out of money. I wasn't really anticipating that outcome, to be honest. I think of them as being so cheap usually. That's not usually an issue. Alright, let's read some dossiers though. I can remember which ones are new. On the fly. G22. Origin unknown, maybe American? Foundation, founded in an unknown year. Organization, covert terrorist organization. It is not known if the name G22 refers to the organization itself or simply a cell or set of cells within it. G22 is believed to be composed primarily of former soldiers and intelligence operatives, which suggests the organization as a whole is familiar with the operating protocols of multiple intelligence groups worldwide. The skill with which G22 is able to cover their tracks provides ample support for this theory. Due to their ability to lure experienced members despite being recognized as a criminal organization by most UN nations, it is assumed that G22 has extensive funding to cover the cost of their operations. Even G22's division of command is not fully understood, but considering their network, it is assumed their goals involve political and economic operations on a global scale. Did I actually mention this before? I don't know if I covered that. It's just what's with all these spy goggles having weird numbers of eyes? What is the why? Is it like, is this based on reality, or is it just based on Splinter Cell being fucking silly in that Sam Fisher has like a fucking like a forehead eye, as apparently, because his goggles have 3 eyes on them, 2 over his eyes and 1 on his forehead. I haven't really played. I think the only Splinter Cell game I've ever played is Double Agent, which I don't think is even that liked. And that's the one where I think he actually doesn't have the goggles on. But in the first trilogy, he has those green goggles with the 3 lights, and then so I can totally see that in a time where that franchise was popular, they would just be like, "Oh yeah, well we got a cool spy goggles too. We got 4 glowy eyes, woo!" And they're all in a line. It's different but the same. I don't know. I don't know if this is based on reality in some way or if it's just fucking nonsense based on other video games. But I'm like, I don't know. I can't imagine the purpose of eyes that don't line up with your eyes. do you fucking slide those goggles back and forth like a harmonica to get into different settings? But like each pair of eyes would have to be a different setting, right? So it still only has 2 settings, right? Right? Early 40s SIE. She's German. That's not the read I got at all. I missed that. She's a mercenary. Not much is known about the operative SIE other than her status as an ex-Stasi agent, and a long list of conflicts in which she has been spotted, usually partaking in the action. Records indicate she was recruited into East German intelligence at a young age and trained to be an elite agent. SIE's career has barely begun by the time that Stasi was expelled. Records indicate that SIE became a freelancer shortly afterwards. The closest the CIA has gotten to acquiring more intelligence was in 1990 after she offered information on Stasi officials for a reported price of $5 million. The director of the German branch of the CIA was asked to bring her into custody by the head of German intelligence as a personal favor, but during the attempted apprehension, SIE killed 2 junior operatives, 6 German police officers, and wounded 10 others. She's very, very capable. I guess I just assumed... I guess maybe I didn't pay that much attention to her accent, and I was just seeing like, there's a lady with an accent, we're in Russia, and I didn't read the accent very closely, so I just assumed Russian, because that's where we were, and you just assumed that she was there locally, but apparently both she and I were there as foreign interferences at the same time dealing with the Russian mafia. Does she always show up at that part of the story? Let's see. I don't think this mentions Russia everywhere. I kind of wonder if she just always shows up at some point on the first place you go to, regardless of whether or not you went to Russia specifically, because she there's not an immediately obvious reason why she has to be in Russia. So I almost wonder if she could just show up anywhere and it could just really fuck with things. And then she helps you with one mission because she just fights her way through. She does just, like, you could just spawn her allies wherever in like a certain mission on each location potentially. And then you just be like, oh, it's just this mission's easier, I guess, because there's a bunch of dudes helping me. Albatross, leader of the G22 cell. Little is known of codename Albatross. It is believed he is a former CIA analyst who faked his death and surgically altered his face and fingerprints. How a low-ranking, non-violent analyst would turn up leading a cell of the covert G22 organization is even more difficult to understand. Whether or not Albatross shares his identity with the former CIA analyst or is responsible for the murders of the other individuals within this division, he should be approached with caution and taken in by any means necessary. Albatross rarely becomes directly involved in his operations, and the rare occasion he does, he is usually accompanied by his bodyguard, codenamed Sis. The exact relationship between the two is unknown, but any attempt to apprehend Albatross must have a plan for dealing with Sis first. Cell leaders in G22 were required to be accompanied by a bodyguard at all times, and to travel alone, or to send one's bodyguard on a mission alone. Oh, and to travel alone, or to send one's bodyguard on a mission alone, is a violation of G22 protocol. Anyone else overwhelmed at this point? I think we've introduced more characters than we have done missions so far. Like, every mission, like, we had a big backlog of characters at the beginning, but I quickly lose access to all those characters when the betrayal happens, but then basically every mission I've done has also introduced 1 or 2 or 3 characters at the same time. Like, I was there to get this one dude, but then Sis attacks me, and then we find out about Albatross through Sis, and then we find out about G22 through Sis, and I'm like, is G22 even related to me being in Russia, or is this just another storyline happening in parallel? I don't read a lot, I don't go through, interact with a lot of like military and spy thriller fiction, so I'm like somewhat taken aback by the density of what's coming at me right now. Grigory Bazanov, age 63, Russian. I read this already? Grigory Bazanov has existed in the background of the seedier side of a city for decades, feeding choice bits of information to the interested parties for the right price. an educated man. He received his degree in physics and psychology, philosophy from Lomonosov's Moscow State University and graduated near the top of his class. Grigory has a reputation for accuracy, but not for discretion. He is reportedly willing to give up contacts and names and locations of anyone requesting information if the price is high enough. Whatever his intent, he has a talent for what information to divulge and to whom and for how much, and reportedly has gained and lost a small fortune as information broker and a contact for black marketers in the weapons trade in Moscow. Though factions within Moscow have not always been happy with the intel Grigory has provided, his insider knowledge has kept him in good standing with whatever groups have held power. More recently, since the faction of the Russian mafia he was closest to has changed hands, he's withdrawn from mob dealings, but has far from retired. After being captured and held by the Russian mob in 2003, Grigory lost heart in the information trade. He was tortured while in the hands of mobsters, and it has weakened his resolve to hold on to secrets under pressure. While still an information broker, he claims he has retired from the criminal underworld scene, citing his health as a concern. He has confessed on numerous occasions he'd risk going to the authorities if heard again, and tell them all he knows about the underworld. That's, I think they're trying to hint at you that you can threaten him and put pressure on him if you need information from him. It's just kind of a bummer, because it means, like, really going in on him and, like, attacking an old man. Sergei Surkov, age 54, Russian international businessman. Sergei Surkov is a rising businessman in Moscow and has been courting foreign companies into the opening branches in Moscow to further trade and opportunities. A frequent guest at the American embassy in Moscow, he uses extensive business connections in Russia as a form of currency to introduce prospective clients to new markets. Surkov has had a long career, including working with the KGB, rumored ties to the Russian mafia, and now perhaps the most dangerous role of all, an entrepreneur. He has embraced the new capitalist Russia with a quiet intensity, using his long years in government and possibly underworld circles to apply to network beyond Russia's borders and seize opportunities as they appear. Sis. Nationality unknown, G22 agent. Appears to be in her late teens to early 20s. Most of the existing information of codename Sis comes from the Interpol records, ones that were isolated when a computer virus attacked their servers in 2006 and erased almost 3 years of evidence compiled on G22. Sis relies on two revolvers as her favorite weapons. While she is a marksman with both, she frequently needs to reload in order to keep using the weapons. Assuming her first few shots do not take out a target, it's recommended that agents take advantage of the pistol's reload to subdue her. Just straight up explaining, like, here's how to fight her in boss fights. It's funny, the idea of having that kind of intel, just because, like, what's the chances of you... Like, this weird situation where somebody has fought her and survived fighting her, but has, like, a strategy guide that they're ready to write about their experience of fighting her? Because they learned enough about how to beat her, but didn't beat her, but also didn't die to her, and so on. Where is this intel coming from? I guess the incentive there is to have a specialty in martial arts, or maybe even shotguns, or something that lets you acquire targets very quickly. Because, how do I put this? Like, she keeps popping out and laying into you, and if you're stuck just dueling her, you can't shoot her back, because whenever she finishes shooting, she takes cover. Could see how flankable she is, potentially, but I feel like she would just move if you tried to move in on her too much and try to acquire a target carefully. I don't know, it'd be interesting to see how much I can move, and then, like, can I set up a flanking position, but then, like, while I run to the flanking position, she'll probably shoot at me once I arrive, so I'll have to hide, and then she'll probably run when she's done shooting. So I imagine by the time the opportunity to shoot at her back pops up, she's probably already moving to a better position now that she knows that I'm flanking her. I don't know. We'll see. Pleasure. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do this. Contact Albatross. It's lower now. It went from 8 to 10 to 9 to 8. I keep losing it. The mysterious G22 cell leader, Albatross, wants to meet. He might know a thing or two about your mission in Halbeck. Intel acquired for this mission too. Yeah. He said he won't wait, so I gotta go. I think the idea is that the main story threads through the optional or non-linear parts of the path. You do each area non-linearly, but there's like a through line that's happening regardless.
Beautiful night. Let's not ruin it by shooting each other.
It's all right, sis. Hello, Mike. No trouble finding the place, I hope.
You wanted to meet face to face. Why?
I wanted to talk about you and the organization I represent. You spared Sis's life. For that, you have my thanks.
Well, things were a little tense on Lazo's yacht. It happens. Just glad things didn't get too carried away. No hard feelings, kid?
She's a mute. Let's walk. Sis will make sure we're not interrupted.
All right. So, what did you want to talk about?
I know to all outward appearances you're a rogue agent. I also know about Alpha Protocol, and in your case, it's being used for its intended purpose.
Wasn't my choice, really. One of my associates made the decision for me.
I disagree. You had other options, I'm sure. Did enacting Alpha Protocol change your mission?
No.
Then you should be proud of your accomplishment.
What accomplishment?
It's not often that one gets to turn the tools of their own government against them, and for the right reasons. And Alpha Protocol? It is a powerful tool.
Between Halbeck and you, I'm beginning to feel like everyone knows about Alpha Protocol.
It may seem that way. I'd argue you're simply traveling in a smaller circle here, on the fringe of international politics.
I don't know what you want, Albatross. G22's agenda? Doesn't seem like you have one.
No. We have aspirations, as does any government. But we believe that agendas are accomplished by careful study and observation. If the status quo is disrupted, it makes predicting triggers and events more difficult.
You sound like one of the analysts of Alpha Protocol I know.
Alpha Protocol has always had someone in that role. It helps them function as intended, no matter what iteration of the program. It's an odd thing. A government-sponsored program whose purpose is to prevent being policed by its own government. Now, what kind of foundation is that for a country?
I guess you have to trust your country and act in its best interests.
Do you trust your country?
I do. I believe in the mission.
I propose we become allies.
What, I'd become a member of G22?
No. I propose we cooperate. You will find that as extensive as Alpha Protocol's leftover safe houses and gadgets are, well, G22 has access to much more.
And the price?
Let us say I owe you. You've already paid me, and the only currency I value. What do you say?
All right. I need all the friends I can get. And for some reason, I trust you.
You won't regret it, Mike. We're out of time, I'm afraid. Thank you for listening to me, Mike. I know you have a great deal of work ahead of you.
Albatross, I need to know something.
Yes. What?
This business with Halbeck. I can still prevent it, right? There's a way to stop them. This isn't going to end well, is it?
Mike, it never does.
There are so many factions. To some extent, I'm barely getting to learn what they are. Like, what does G22 actually do? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just flying into these answers because it's like, you gotta make a choice right now under a time limit, and I'm like, I have several questions that my character seems disinterested in asking. Sup? I'm back. How you guys doing? More mail. Well, I've once again increased my inventory at least. I believe I've done that twice in basically since my last real mission. Got more barrel and whatnot options. A better scope for even more accuracy. It just cost $35,000. That's easy peasy, no big deasy. Advanced stealth armor. It's better for endurance than my current stuff. This will get better though. That's also even more expensive than the stealth armor though. It seems like some fucking end game gear right there. I want this G22 organization thing, but I can't afford it. And then it's probably going to go away before I can buy, sell. Why do I have a gold-plated AR? What? What is going on there? Excuse me? Was that always there? Why does it have a trophy on it? Did I get it by unlocking an achievement? It does 28 damage, but its accuracy is like way the fuck down. And that, yeah, that is with everything equipped. I think everything else beats the loss of damage. I'm kind of confused. So let's go back to service record. There's too many of these and they're not sorted chronologically. Oh, I can look at the right side of the screen, though. I don't see it. I thought that maybe one of these things I got unlocked the gold-plated AR. It seems like I should sell it. It seems like that's kind of what it's for, right? Maybe it's to fucking flex on the AI characters that don't care about what you look like, but I'm thinking it's you get this because it lets you sell it because it's gold-plated, and that lets you pointlessly get a bunch of money off of it. So I think I will. Because now I can suddenly afford all these things. So expanded G22 dossier information, map, sniper rifle dead drop. Nope. Mr. Thornton, as long as we're working together, I will share out access to our black market channels. When you log into the clearinghouse, you'll access to G22's supply network. Whatever surplus gear we have will be available for purchase should you need it. Albatross. Hey, Mike. I want to congratulate you on surviving this long. You're a scrappy agent. I see why Westridge wanted you on the team. As a courtesy, one professional to another, I wanted to let you know I'm on the hunt for you. Now, you're a proud man, and I never pegged you for the type of guy to surrender. But if you turn yourself in, I promise I'll accept your white flag like a gentleman and take you in alive. Or you can keep running, in which case I'll have to kill you. Nothing personal, my friend, just business. There's still an ambiguity here. They're hunting me, but they're not really saying why. They're not doing the whole supervillain speech. But I think they're still leaving the door open to the idea that they think I'm the one that went rogue and betrayed them, as opposed to thinking that they turned on me, which is what I think, and so on. Because betrayals upon betrayals is just like how this genre do. Am I already doing the final mission of this area? That would be a little weird. I feel like we've only done like one other mission so far. It's just a bunch of weird things where I spawn in and meet with somebody. Oh wait, no, I shot the train yard, then I did the boat. So 2 missions, I guess. Intercept Surkov at U.S. Embassy. Find out about Halbech's interest in Moscow. Head to the American Embassy in Moscow and contact Sergei Surkov, a prominent local businessman. If anyone is likely to have information on Halbech's interest in Moscow, he will.
Turn up anything, Mina?
The name Grigori provided. Sergei Surkov. He's well connected in Moscow, and he may know what Halbech's plans are.
Any idea where I can find him?
I've confirmed he's at the American Embassy now. He should be there for the next few hours, if his schedule holds.
Good to hear. Is something wrong?
Something's interfering with the signal. I'm going to switch to another frequency.
What the hell?
Mike, I understand you're going after Surkov.
I suppose it's too much to ask. Give me some warning before you interrupt my calls.
We don't have a lot of time. I know about your mission, and I can assist you in getting to Surkov. When you arrive at the embassy, I can patch into your frequency and provide support as your handler. I think you'll find G-22's resources are considerable.
I've already got the help I need, Albatross, thanks.
Mike, G-22's the only one you can count on in Moscow.
Not exactly. I know someone who will be happy to help.
Who are you?
What happened? I got cut off.
Mina, I think Z's gonna be joining us at the embassy.
What?
No time to explain. But I think we need to reach Surkov now.
You have to make these really rapid fire choices, but like I just don't know that much about why I would want to side with Z, apparently is what we're calling her, or G-22, or my handler. And then they don't do a lot of, none of them spend a lot of time trying to convince me why their side is good or whatever.
I was hoping for something a little cheerier.
Mike, I'm receiving the link request from PCI. Are you sure you want...
Shh, little girl. Time for the big boys to play now, yeah?
Z, well, that explains the overabundance of testosterone on the line.
Michael needs someone who can help him, little girl. You, not so much. Michael, darling, can you hear me?
I'm reading you, Z. Are your men in position?
It is only you, Michael. We are all alone, just the 2 of us, in the winter night.
I'm still here, actually.
For now, perhaps.
Alright, let's see what we got at the front door.
Embassy is guarded by a squad of soldiers, not the best of the United States, but they will put up a small fight, I think. But you spoke to Grigori, did you not? It is odd. They do not look like they are expecting trouble.
And that's a bad thing?
Possible bad thing, yeah. Grigori, he's a businessman.
What does that have to do with anything?
Grigori is an informant, Mike. He makes his living here.
The little girl is right. Grigori has a big mouth. You spoke to him, he spoke to me. So I would have thought he would speak to Surkov. Yet the guards, they are relaxed, not expecting trouble. Next step is yours, Michael. I cannot help you with the guards. Do not get killed or let Surkov die. It would be inconvenient.
Understood. Mike out.
I think part of my issue is that all the different factions say a lot, and the dossiers say a lot, like a lot of words, but I'm not sure those words say that much, especially about like the ideology of each group and what makes them different. Like a fundamental established like compare and contrast of all the different groups and why I'd want to side with any of them in particular is just kind of under established. So I'm not really sure.
Keep my distance from the guards, Michael, unless you feel you can talk your way through the front gate.
Maybe I can. Hello, chatty.
Can we help you, sir?
I was hoping to see Sergei Surkov. Can you check to see if he's in?
Of course, sir. Give me a moment.
Mike, darling, you are on my list, not Surkov's. Do not let the guard finish that call.
We're old friends. I probably should have called first, but I didn't.
Well, sir, that's why we have a list. Just hold on a moment.
He's making the call.
Mr. Surkov, sorry to disturb you, sir. Someone to see you. Yes. American. You can see him on the camera.
Well?
Surkov said he's waiting for you. You're clear to go in, sir.
They really push you to attack, but it might still be a trap. But hey, I got in the front door. God, I'm just fucking covered in weapons. Like, I do not have a do not currently fight everyone to death mode. Like, Mike doesn't enter into like, yes, haha, I'm here to have a chat mode visually. He's like fucking brandishing guns. Uh-oh. So it begins.
Mike, picking up multiple targets in your vicinity. They just appeared out of nowhere.
It is G-22, little girl. They are like ghosts.
So we're back to fighting G-22, I guess. Did I just dump that entire storyline like in one choice that quickly? I barely had a chance to even think about what we were talking about, what was going on. Like, not immediately going along with G-22 on this mission. Seemingly, like, what, that was the fucking end of that entire storyline? Like, now they hate me? Probably for good? I don't know. I mean, we're all like, haha, yeah, hi sis, no hard feelings, right? All casual. It's like, because, like, in this universe, gunfights don't seem to have much weight. Like, I was in a gunfight with sis where we were trying to murder each other, and now we're being all cheeky about it. But also, like, I think I killed all those guys, so all the members of his group that were there, I believe I murdered. So, like, why would we ever be allies after that? I'm pretty sure I killed, like, a ton of their men. I don't know, I'm trying to get a handle on this game's narrative is fucking with me a little bit. It might be best if I just fixate entirely on the selfish aspect of just who's trying to kill Mike right now and how do I get to the next mission. Because that'll be more understandable. It's just who's betraying Mike today as opposed to what the fuck is going on with these factions. I'm getting a little, it's weird. It's kind of information overload, but also like the information doesn't necessarily seem like it says that much, even though I'm also overloaded by it. Because it's too many characters and factions coming at me too quickly, but also they say so little about each one in, like, meaningful terms. About, like, why you'd want it to group of different people. Maybe the game benefits replay value just because then the second time around you're like, oh, I know way more about what's going on now. This makes way more sense. Got him. Sure hope those were G-22 and not the Russians, since the Russians seem to be chilled with me at the moment. I like that little fake out though, where everyone's so tense about the idea of you going in, and then, ta-ta! It turns out, Sergei will let you in for one reason or another. Maybe he wants to talk to you. Maybe he genuinely doesn't realize that that this could be bad for him. Or maybe he sees the benefit of talking to me and is like, yeah, just invite him in. No need for a fight. We can get through this peacefully, maybe even both benefit each other kind of situation. I would like to say I have a clearer idea of Sergei's motivations and affiliations and why I would have to fight my way in or sneak my way in versus talk my way in, and why one would backfire and one would work. But I just spent the last couple missions getting introduced to a dozen characters and 4 factions all at once, and I've lost my fucking mind at this point. So I'm a little having trouble trying to think of, like, what information am I supposed to have right now about Sergei? Who is that? Also, yeah, that is like a... I guess that is sort of a German accent they're going for with Z. So that makes it awkward when I read that email in my shitty Russian accent instead of my shitty German accent. Oh, the humanity. How could I do such a thing? The important thing is I can fucking shred everyone.
Surkov is close. I can smell him. You flatter me, Michael. lines and wrinkles are just part of the aging process, see?
She's in SAG? That's impressive. She has a very multi-talented career. SAG lines.
Agent Thornton, I had heard you were in Moscow, although I didn't expect our meeting to be quite so dramatic.
Sergei Surkov, I'm here to get you to safety. I don't want to hurt you, I just need information.
I see Grigori described you correctly, Agent Thornton. I'm at your disposal. How do you want to proceed?
Tell me what you can about the embassy.
The embassy security systems are our problem. The explosion has triggered the automatic security gates. They must be disabled if we want to escape the building.
So I need to find the security terminal and then override the codes.
Yes, the terminal is upstairs. But in the monitoring room next to us, there is a maintenance ladder. Take the ladder to the main security room upstairs. Unlock the gates. Then I can meet up with you at the courtyard. We don't have much time.
The room Surkov mentioned is almost right next to you. I checked the blueprints. It looks like there's a ladder up.
So Grigori totally did give away. He warned of my coming and gave information about all this, and he knew I was coming. But that worked out in my favor because I'm so far cooperative with various characters. Ooh, there's a zoom. Where you squint? I guess I. Oop. Who's talking? I hear someone taunting me to come out, but they don't seem to be nearby. Wait, who's talking? I have a fucking enemy detecting radar all the time that I spec'd into. I don't see any more arrows. I just see the two play. I just see my person I'm guarding and my objective. Weird. Loading.
Hurry, Michael. G22 will not wait for you.
Are they above me or something? Where are these voices? I still can't tell for sure when they say the stuff like that, whether or not they're indicating that there's a real in-game clock that I need to hurry through, or I'm gonna be in trouble and like lose objectives permanently, or if they're just kind of urging me.
They are coming in from above, Michael. Careful now.
I will fuck them up. And I will see them coming, presumably, with my magic see them coming powers. Well, that's an entire squad. I am incredibly deadly so far. I can see you through walls.
G22 is hacking the embassy systems.
I'm the Terminator. Oh, I thought that was an icon because it was so bright. Come out wherever you are.
Area not secure.
Whoop! Can't have you hacking or whatever they said you were doing. All this stuff everywhere that I don't want to miss out on. I can't tell if there's a real time limit or not. Every day we FCC or FCF. Oh, it's over there. Boom. Money. Ooh. I don't want to die, but I also want to get paid, or else what's the point? You're here somewhere. I think these voices don't come from people half the time. It just keeps playing it in the background, which is funny because these supposedly sneaky people just won't shut up. What's up?
Did it. Security gate.
Door just exploded open when I did that. What's up? What's up? How are you not dead? There you go. Whoop. What's up? These guys just run straight at me when I have a gun. What are they, me and The Last of Us? No, I fucking double input my down. No. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, me! Ooh, I'm unlocking intel. Why do they have intel on Scarlet Lake on that computer? Here they come. What exactly is Sergei doing right now?
I'm locking down the other elevators from the roof. It should cut off their reinforcements.
You are not fast enough, little girl. One team slipped through.
At this point, I'm just happy I sided with Z because she's more entertaining. My aim's horrible, but my aim is better than this robot. Surprisingly.
Looks like the elevator's been damaged.
Yep.
See if there's another way off the level.
Open the other elevator? And then, like, jump down like a crazy person? No? Is that not what we were doing? Sup? Shut up. Camera. Somebody keeps talking. Who's there? Where are you? Who am I? I still can't tell if I'm crazy or what. You really can't. You really can't jump over small walls. I'm a bit ahead schedule, so I'm sorry if you guys have, like, seen the first episode or whatever where I encountered that problem and, like, told me the solution or whatever, because the series hasn't even started airing yet. I've just been kind of fucking around and having fun with this game. I did some serious Surge 2 binging, so I got really ahead of schedule for a bit. I'm lost. Where is the way down? I don't have a map, do I? Because I didn't get one. Is there a Fog of War map that shows you what you found so far about the local area? Yes. So I'm here. I go through there. I get into, like, the broken room, which may have a way down. Here we are.
G22. It looks like they are swarming.
Z's right. They're crossing the perimeter.
More loading than expected on a PC game.
Company soon, Mike.
You can drop. I'm not sure that's what I want to do right now.
Surkov's at the front door, and judging by the incoming soldiers, he will not be moving unless you help him.
Hello, friend. One friend with 0 health left. Great. I think we have nothing else to do here. Wait, that's the guy that won't shut up? I think it was him. Oh fuck, take cover, asshole. Shit, take cover. Well, he's got full health still, and one helper.
Surkov is dead.
How?
All of this for nothing.
What? What? He had full health 1 second ago when I looked at his health. Lay the fuck down on the ground, sir. I got this, brah. Dick. Are we good? There's more. Okay. It said I was. All right.
When Grigori indicated you were in Moscow, he underestimated your abilities. I did not.
Glad I didn't disappoint. I was hoping you could help me.
If I can, I will. You're here concerning Halbech, correct? May I ask why?
It's my responsibility to find out what they're doing here in Moscow.
Your
and stop them.
responsibility? Forgive me, Mr. Thornton, but my understanding was that you are a rogue agent.
That doesn't make me any less responsible to my country or to the world, Mr. Surkov. Can you help me?
I will, gladly. Halbech is smuggling weapons through Moscow. Was your country not already aware of this?
I'm not sure how much my government really knows. There seems to be protocols in place to blind them to their own actions.
I do not know who Halbech's contact is in Moscow, but it will not take me long to find out.
I appreciate the cooperation.
As I appreciate you saving my life, Mr. Thornton. I think our responsibility to our countries is something we see eye to eye on.
Glad to hear it, Surkov. I look forward to hearing from you.
Is this not something you already knew? Yeah, it is something, and that's why we're here, isn't it? We came here because we already know that. They said we succeeded at defending him before I even finished killing all the guys, which threw me for a loop for a second there. I have level 1 toughness, and I can already, like, stand in the open and just get shot in the face a bunch of times, and it mostly works out. It's just kind of funny to me. With Brilliance, I can reset my cooldowns, including this auto-aim thing. Let's go ahead and just make myself a bit tougher. Ba-boom. I'm a bit disappointed that Z didn't seem to do anything during that mission, really. So I guess the choice is more just, did I want to be on the G-22 side of that fight or the Z side of that fight? Which is the me side of that fight. What? You disappoint me, Michael. Do you always play nice with those who cross you? My sources tell me countless G-22 operatives were left alive. Do you not have the testicles for bloodshed? Still, we found your man Surkov, just as I promised would happen. With my help, of course. You're welcome, Z. Didn't I kill, like, everyone? That's a weird response. Is it because the quest... Is it because at the very end, the mission ended before the last guy died? At this point, they have crossed me, because I was going in to get this information, and they attacked me, so I guess fuck G-22? I guess we'll be fighting Sis again in the future. Z's a more interesting character, because she's a character. It's kind of a bummer they've spent all that time designing a character like Sis, and then just made her mute, and I'm just like, Like, there are, like, contexts where a mute character could be a developed character, but I don't know if the spy thriller that's dialogue-driven is the place where she's going to get much time to develop. She's just going to look vaguely tough in a bunch of scenes, and that might be all that she ever is. It's just a character design that looks tough here and there, and then that's all she does. It's a bit rough not having dialogue in a dialogue-driven, like, genre. I almost forgot. Now that we are working together, I don't mind you using the VCI's supply chain to keep yourselves armed. I've created a store section in the clearinghouse for you. Just click me if there's anything you need. Click me? Click me. Maybe I picked up that gold-plated weapon during a mission somewhere and just didn't realize where it came from. I do pick up a lot of things. It's often just some money, so I don't necessarily keep an active, like, look at it. But, like, there's definitely just stuff I could have that I don't necessarily fully know I have. I think I've been given access to, like, 3 different people's weapons now. Do I still have G22 weapons, too? Even though they've betrayed me at this point? I'm not actually sure. That's plus to everything. Plus damage, plus accuracy. Accuracy is definitely my priority just because accuracy is so garbage. I want to be able to just take out people with precision shots. 106,000 for the Hamilton Eagle. Plus to damage and accuracy. Plus 5 accuracy! Ooh! That's the one we already had access to. I think it's still the top one for accuracy by a huge margin. 35? Like, if it lets me just actually just hit my targets, then all the damage in the world won't matter otherwise. That's like what you learn. Like, admittedly, I don't know how strong accuracy is. Like, is the most accurate thing in the rifle category genuinely accurate? Or is it just, like, slightly less inaccurate in a way that's not very appreciable? Hard to say without going in and finding out. But when I was, like, a raider in World of Warcraft and whatnot, like, playing my rogue, that was the big deceptive thing, is like you could increase your attack speed, you could increase your crit chance, which seems like what's appealing because it makes big numbers pop up on the screen. You could increase your agility, which kind of affects everything, including your damage and whatnot, and so on. But like above all else, the #1 stat that you had to get capped out as quickly as possible to be an effective raider and like top the DPS charts and all that was just maxing out your hit chance. You wanted all the +2 hit gear you could get back in Burning Crusade when that was a stat, which it isn't now. They just deleted that stat from the game and amalgamated it into something else probably. Everyone in Modern WoW only has 3 stats total. It's weird. But there used to be like 10. There was like 6 core stats, then a bunch of bonus things you could have, like spell power and 2 hit and crit chance and whatnot that weren't base stats, but were additional modifiers on top of everything else. And yeah, like, turns out it doesn't matter how high your damage is per hit and whatnot if you're occasionally missing. Because, like, oh wow, congratulations, you increased your damage by like 2% by getting a little more agility. It's like, cool. But every single time you don't hit, that's 0 damage. That attack did 0 damage. It's crushing. Same thing happens in Dungeons & Dragons. Like, you want bonuses to 2 hit desperately. Because anything that makes you hit and actually land attacks, that's the deal. That's a big game changer. It's like, it's great that your weapon hits for 30 damage somehow, but if it's not hitting because their armor rating is beating your hit chance and your dice roll, then you just land your attack for 0/0, and that's just really bad. Alright, so I think I just want to save up 130 grand if I can, because this thing's fucking crazy. It might suck not buying any new stuff for a while, but the payoff at the end is going to be pretty good. Oh yeah, no, I definitely lost my G22 items, because there used to be a stealth armor here, and it's gone now. All I have is this for 145k right now. Ooh. This used to be my best. Now this is my best. So for 145k, which is cheaper, I can now get the highest endurance boosting gear so far. It doesn't give me as many upgrade bonus slots as this one would, though. This one gives me 1 more upgrade slot, but that one gives me 15 more endurance. Bit of a toss-up. Still, I have to save up a similar amount in both cases, and it'll take us a while to get there, so not a big deal. Increased first aid kit slots, but it's 19k for it, which is not small. Where's my ammo? Oh wait, that's here. I just always want to have a decent amount of ammo going in, because it costs me almost nothing to do it, but it'll cost me a fair bit if I don't have it. At the moment, I'm not desperate for upgrades. We're doing okay. Alright, let's keep going.